Brad, I guess the question today is Jalen Milroe. How do you contain Jalen Milroe the way he's playing right now?
Extremely high level, extremely talented, not just athlete, but doing a nice job operating the offense and understanding, I know everybody can see when the plays break down and his ability and what he can do when he gets out of the pocket, but when you watch, the entire season, what he's been able to do, in terms of ball placement and getting it to playmakers. Again, he's playing at a really, really high level right now.
When they go through a quarterback situation like that where he loses the job, they do a couple other guys, then he gets it back. In general, what kind of confidence does that give a football player, getting that job back? And ever since then, he's kind of been hitting his stride.
Yeah, it's, competition usually brings out the best in most players. And, no, some can shrink to it and some can elevate. And obviously he showed that he can elevate. And you can see every week that he's behind center, he continues to gain confidence. And I think that the offense has supreme confidence in him. And so it's a really, really tough challenge when you've got somebody that big, that fast, with that good of an arm, with the weapons around them, with the O-line in front of them. I mean, there's a reason that they can put up points in a hurry.
You guys obviously face really talented teams every week, and Georgia every year, but to have an Alabama team coming here, do you notice a sense of, like it's picked up this week among your guys when a team like Alabama comes to town?
I think the guys understand how big this game is, and whether it's Alabama or whether it's the fact that, you're getting down to the end of the season. And there are some games that we let slip away or we didn't, necessarily play our best. And so there's no room for error when you're going down the stretch. And so I think there's a heightened urgency in that regard. And so, I think they'll be excited for Saturday.
Brad, the last time Kentucky beat Alabama, Anwar had a big play, scored a touchdown. Has he been showing guys that clip yet this week?
You're gonna have to ask him. I don't know. I have not seen. I would highly doubt it. That's not Stu's style there. But yeah, hopefully, I've petitioned the NCAA to see if we could have one more COVID year for him. If we can get one of those, that would be big. But no, I think he'll be. He's excited every game. It doesn't matter. If it's a scrimmage, if it's game day, he always brings the energy. And but that was a big moment in this program's history for sure.
When you looked at the Mississippi State tape, what stuck out to you?
I thought the guys strained, and they battled and still need to clean up obviously, especially that one drive. Some of the tackling was a little bit sloppy, and but they were great on the sideline. They had a good look in their eye, and there was never any panic. Obviously, D-Jack's pick six was a huge momentum shift there, to one, give you some breathing room, and two, just sort of a little bit of confidence, swagger, and anytime you can go on the road and you can have a performance like they did, that hopefully that builds their confidence.
Brad, JQ got to get in quite a bit with Andrew down, and then I think he played a lot at the end of the Tennessee game too. What have you kind of seen from him progression-wise as he's waited for an opportunity and when he got his chance these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it was, asked about earlier when we were talking about Milroe was, a guy, he was able to be the day one, nickel guy, right? And then, he had to basically sort of re-earn that spot. And he came to work every day, continued to compete, continued to battle, and it's made him better. Things that we still need to push and develop with him technique-wise. But I think there's a confidence level that's growing within him, and the more plays he makes, that confidence will continue to increase. And so you hope for that with all your guys, right? Like, and you don't want necessarily just instant success. I mean, it helps. Everybody loves it. Man, he walks right on the field. Man, he's an instant playmaker. But guys need to go through, some of those valleys so they can come out stronger, because it doesn't matter how good you're playing at some point, you're going to have a bad game. You're not going to play well. And you have to learn how to overcome that. And he's another one of those guys that had to push through some adversity sort of early, and it's made him better, at this point, and we need him to play a big game.
Over the course of Alabama's season, have you noticed any changes in how they're using Milroe in the run game, and more design?
No, I mean, I think they've just found comfort and consistency in what they want to do. They've sort of found their identity, and we've talked about that from the start to where we are, and every team is different, and every team identity is a little bit different, and I think it just took them a little bit to find that. But no, they are, they are who they are, and you see a lot of the similarities. You go back and you pull up the 2020 film, and then from a system standpoint, a lot of that's still in place. Now with little tweaks, obviously every team, you're going to play to your strengths, but the base core is there.
You coached with Coach Wolford for a year here. I hear people saying, well, he's going to know everything Brad wants to do, and Brad's going to know everything he wants to do as far as protection. Is that stuff overrated?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any necessarily different than when you face the same opponent every single year, right? And if there's consistency in coordinator, you're going to say, okay, how did he attack me last year? How did he attack me 2 years ago? Has there been a shift? And so there's obviously little pieces back and forth, but I don't know whether it's overrated or underrated. I think there's obviously a piece of what kind of style, and stylistically what somebody likes. But yeah, that hey, listen, your tape's out there. Hey, everything I do from a call standpoint is out there. Everything our defense does is out there. Everything their offense does is out on film. So it's not many secrets in that regard. And so now it comes down to execution.
Alabama's really good at kind of hitting those big explosive plays, those home run balls. So I guess each week, how do you kind of prepare for those kind of plays, those real spontaneous, game-changing plays?
You try to prevent them. How do you again? You try to cap the defense if you can. You try to not let them over the top of you. But they've got a lot of talented athletes with a lot of speed. A quarterback with a big time arm that can extend with his legs and really create some of those off schedule plays too that allow guys to get vertical and get down and create some space. And so. Yeah, you want the honest answer? Sometimes you just hold your breath when the ball's in the air, and you just hope that it's not a perfect ball, or and sometimes you win them and sometimes you don't. I mean, the great teams are able to make some of those. The big thing is we have to have a short memory if they make some, and play the next down.
And is there any extra juice in practice since it's Alabama and Alabama's coming here?
Yeah, any home game at Kroger Field, we're going to try our hardest. We're going to try our best. We're going to scratch and claw for every win. Alabama with the big name, after the big loss to Georgia, that sad loss. We coming in still trying to fix our legacy for this year.
How much of it do you see as just an opportunity for you guys, not even just because it's Alabama, but to finish the season strong, a couple games?
It's a big opportunity, just put a stamp, especially on the defensive side of the ball, letting everyone know how good our defense is, showing them how we can come together after, not the greatest middle of the season, after 2-3 losses in a row, learning how to come off after that.
How much, confidence did you gain this last week with what you guys were able to do down the start pool?
I gained a lot more confidence, I'd say, in a lot of our freshmen stepping up. One big one, Ty Bryant. He was a co-freshman of the week you know, like 14, 15 tackles, you know, he's just a great ball player, and it's great to see him doing big things.
You had some adversity early in that game, but responded really well to that 20-play long drive. What was the difference in that and maybe some other times this season where it didn't go that way?
Yeah, that's just really, I feel like our camaraderie was there. You know, we were all together, you know, coming after, you know, a loss, we come in to, you know, try to keep our legs here, like I said at the start. We were just together, you know. We all we had, so that we needed. You know?
How tough is it preparing for Jalen Milroe? What does he bring to the table?
You know, he's an athlete. He's the second fastest person on the team. Coach White told us. They got a great offensive line, you know. 2 freshmen on their left side, you know, with Tyler Book and the 360-pound cat. But, you know, he's a great athlete. You know, he can make a play whenever he needs it. We just got to work on caging him, not letting him escape up and out.
On the call-in show the other night, Coach Cohen said he wouldn't mind getting you at left tackle, at least for a player. So, would you go for that if they ever said anything?
Left tackle, not really. Fullback, yeah. Fullback, you got me though. 100%.
One caller actually said after that, he said he wants to see you in the goal line.
Yeah, I've been pushing for it ever since like week 2. You know.
It's senior day too. Just how important is it for you guys to send the seniors out?
It's very important. You know, a lot of them are my brothers. Been my brothers for the past 2 years of me being here. Like 10, 15 years down the line, I know that I could call them and, you know, ask them anything. I could get anything from them. Like when I was at my lowest, they were there with me. So I feel like it's going to be very meaningful to send them out with a win.
Coach Stewart has a W and a big play against Alabama on his resume. Does that ever come up?
Yeah, you know, he likes to showboat, you know, his pick. But, you know, I'm like, you a D-line coach. That don't mean nothing. So, but, yeah, you know, he's a great coach. He's very energetic. Let me say that about Alabama.
Growing up around football, what's it mean to go play against a coach as legendary as Nick Saban?
It means a lot because, you know, everyone knows his name. No matter where you go, you can go all the way up north, all the way down south, east, west. Everyone knows Nick Saban, you know, and it's great to go against a coach like that because, you know, he's the best of the best, and that's why I'm in the SEC to play.